freeze when I just went live. Unbelievable. Well, my man Jade, Yusuf, what's going on, man? Of course, of course, you're gonna forget the king, yeah? But the king always comes back. I don't know why the camera's not working all of a sudden, man. I just turned, like, it was working before I pressed live and then it goes away. I don't know what's going on. Hold on, guys. Let me just do this. Let me pop open this starting soon. My man, what's going on, Pog? Say less, yo. These people, man. These are my people, man. Say what you want to say. Ultimately, we are here. The GOAT. And that's you, bro. That's all you, man. You are the GOAT around these parts, my man. Alright, if my big camera's not working, I'll just plug in the little one, but the little one even is not cooperating. Like, I pressed go live and it just froze, man. Let's get into it, man. What are your thoughts on the big fights that have happened since your hiatus, like the Connor trilogy? Well, my man, my hiatus started after the Connor trilogy, you know, so you know, I really don't want to talk to you guys without a camera, man. This is really pathetic. What is this, man? Yeah, Holyfield is fighting right now against Vitor Belfort. Guys, what the I don't guess. I don't know why the cameras are not working. Wow. This is very disappointing, guys. Alright, I'll just keep talking meanwhile. Oh. This camera turned on for a sec. We'll have to do with this. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying my best, brother. I'm trying my best. I'm really trying my best here, yeah. All right, finally. All right, guys. I'm sorry, man. I was trying to use this camera, but it didn't work. I don't know what's going on with it. Anyway, let's get into it. My man, Jade. Thank you for the question, man. What are your thoughts on the big fights that have happened since your hiatus, like the Connor trilogy? All right. I've made videos post the Connor fight. Just only like one reaction video. I didn't dive into detail like about the leg break and things of that nature. I've been planning a video in my head for a long while, and I'm gonna really, I mean, it's more so a video talking about the mindset it takes Conor McGregor to be who he is, who he has always been, to come back and you know, just kind of get over this injury. To keep it short, the reality is he's going to be 35, you know, 34, 33. Who keeps track, right? You're getting old. That's what I'm trying to, you know, that's the bottom line. You're getting old. You're getting old at a stage where you're supposed to be getting better, while the competition keeps getting better as well. If you can't get better, they will keep getting better and you will just fall behind, right? That's one thing. what, like, that's one thing while you're not injured. Then you put an injury on top of it. You know, are you trying to get over the injury, or are you trying to get over like the competition? Let's focus on the injury. Okay. He recovers from the injury. He gets back in fighting shape. But the reality is he only got better from the injury. He didn't really get better as a fighter. That's number one. Let's compare that to Dustin Poirier, right? Dustin has been incrementally, getting better and better, while Conor's injured. Conor is declining, right? Let's just say he gets better, boom. He rises a little bit, but Dustin's already, all the way over here. So, he has fallen behind, even if he were to come back. All right. Now, the video that I had in my mind was really mainly talking about this. The mentality Conor McGregor has of not feeling that he lost after technically losing, adding another loss to his record. To feel like he can still go and come back and be better is something that I want to have a deep dive in and explain better in that video. That was a video that I had in my mind. Now, the big fights that have happened since, I can't really recall any big fights that have happened since. Pacquiao lost. Darren Till lost. Who else lost? I feel like this year, all the supposed big stars, they've been taking some big hits. But that's just what it is, So good, brother. What you think of the Holyfield shenanigans? Really, I'm surprised. Out of all the inactive fighters, all the retired fighters, Holyfield was the one they rang up and were like, "Hey, champ, fight for me." That's pretty weird, but I think Holyfield's gonna get knocked out. I think he's just, bro. You're almost 60, man. That's like how old was Rocky Balboa when he went up against what's his name, man? I forgot his name. Like his actual name. Holyfield versus no, not Holyfield. Rocky Balboa versus, come on, man, the guy that knocked out Roy Jones and Antonio Tarver, right? That was like, how old was Rocky Balboa when he fought Antonio Tarver? My man Zach Harvey. Tyson is fighting Lennox Lewis by the end of the year. I watched a new interview with him and Michael Francis. He said by the end of the year I'll be fighting Lennox Lewis. So I think that's the fight that they're planning, not the Holyfield one. And I believe Triller was, right after he fought Roy Jones, apparently they didn't pay him and things of that nature. So the partnership between Triller and Mike Tyson has fell through. Yeah, so man, I was in the Rocky movie. Pog, when you say things of this nature, you know what I mean? You have to be backing it up, you know what I mean? So be a little bit more specific. All right, should oblique kicks be banned in the sport of mixed martial arts? I'm the guy that wants kicks to down opponents' back, knees to down opponents' back. So in my opinion, oblique kicks are just a part of the game, in my opinion, when you go into a fight in the sport of mixed martial arts where that entire the slogan is as real as it gets, people look at MMA as the golden standards of free fighting should be, and I believe that the oblique kick is part of that freeness. So I believe it should be there. It shouldn't be taken away. I also believe that they should bring back knees to down opponents, man, soccer kicks. Because if, MMA is a fair game, but the UFC and, modern MMA rules are favoring a certain fighting style. It's the wrestling, the grappling fighting style. It is just the reality. It's just, I feel like if they bring back knees and soccer kicks, not only will the wrestlers be a little bit more marketable because they're going to have more knockout finishes and brutal things to promote than just grinding, punch. At some point it gets boring. Sometimes you just want to see a guy step up, boom, and, finish the fight. But yeah, I mean that's not obviously the healthiest thing for the fighters. But if the individual really cared about his or her health, I don't really believe that they should be entering the sport of combat anyway. So if that's your concern, then it's kind of you cannot go into the water without getting wet. Is what I'm trying to say. I agree. They should also bring back headbutts. I mean, bring back headbutts. It's headbutt is. It's not. I mean, I haven't seen it used effectively like a soccer kick, but why not? Did you watch Pitbull Bellator fight? Yeah, I've seen Pitbull's fight against AJ McKee. Right? He got finished. Unfortunate. It is what it is. It's the fight business. We need some cam action, brother. Yeah, the cam is here, brother. It's I'm here. My man. Let me try and get that 4K camera for you guys, man, because I don't know why it doesn't work, man. I don't know. I really don't know why it doesn't work, guys. I'm sorry. Hello, my good friend Kenan. I'm the former Tuco. You better go change that name back to Tuco, kid, because you know what I mean. I'm not gonna keep remembering new fucking names around here. So get back to who you were, kid. Yeah. My name can give you a lot of trouble, so please remove me from your channel moderations because I love you and thank you for the good times and goodbye. Was this guy? Did he just? What did he do? I don't get it. Like, wait, yo, Tuco, are you still here, dog? Like, what? Then what about the future? Like Colby versus Usman, Nick Diaz's return, right? All right, Colby versus Usman, great fight. Really looking forward to it. The novelty wore off after the first fight. Obviously, it's not gonna be as big as the first fight. That's what happens with trilogies. It's not really as important as the first one is. In my opinion, going into the second fight, Colby Covington will try to wrestle more, but Colby Covington is the weaker physical fighter, so he will not be able to take Kamaru Usman down. He will not be able to keep him down. He will not be able to out-grapple him in any shape, any way, shape, or form. And I believe he will be gassing out relatively early, similar to what Kevin Lee performed like against Rafael dos Anjos, where he was, wrestling, unsuccessful, gas out, get tapped out. I believe instead of getting tapped out, I think he will get knocked out on the feet in a very convincing manner. This is something that I believe he will do. If he's not going to stick to grappling and it will be a stand-up fight like it was in the first fight, I believe that it will be very, very similar to the first fight. The main difference between Colby and Kamaru is the fact that a lot of people ignore this, but Colby Covington has to work twice as hard to get half the work in that Kamaru Usman does. Kamaru Usman can throw a single jab, a power jab, a hook, whatever it may be, and it will seriously rattle Colby Covington. The difference in sheer physical strength and power is tremendous. So when it comes to the fighter who has to put in twice the work, is also going to be the fighter who is less effective and dominant in the fight. Therefore, Kamaru Usman will still remain in control. He will be the more effective fighter. Yes, he may get hit 3, 4, 5 times, but all he needs is 1 or 2 punches to make it up. Just look at the difference in face and the damage, and look at the guy who got knocked out ultimately. So I believe it will be the same thing once again. Kamaru has been fighting a lot more than Colby Covington, and I believe that he is a lot sharper, and I believe he has gotten a lot more refined. Thank you for the question. What do you think about Nick Diaz's return? Nick Diaz's return, I hate to be the bearer of bad news around these parts, but it's good that they put him up against Robbie Lawler. I'm happy that they did. Like, an older fighter should fight an older fighter. Like, I don't want to see Cerrone fight these young bucks and get completely destroyed. It's pointless. I'm happy that they brought back Nick to fight Robbie. He may even win. He may not win. It's just that ship has sailed. Like that relevancy has sailed. It's like when the WWE brings back an older wrestler and they just spark some nostalgia into the people, and they kind of like have them watch again. Obviously, it works for those who are interested in that fighter, but in the long term, Nick Diaz is not going to be competitive. Nick Diaz is not going to do anything. Nick Diaz has been inactive for the last six years. He got fat, he got in shape again, but the point is he has declined as a fighter, in my opinion. And we will not see the best version of Nick Diaz. And even if we saw the best version of Nick Diaz in the UFC, I believe prime for prime, Robbie Lawler would beat Nick Diaz. Past prime versus past prime, I don't know where they stand, but I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. When it comes to Robbie, physically, he seems okay. He seems okay, but we'll see. We'll see what it is. I cannot say anything about a fighter who hasn't fought in 6 years. Thank you for your question. Good to see you, my man Zach. I appreciate you, man. There were rumors about him fighting. Okay, can Zhang Weili beat Rose Namajunas in the rematch? All right, we have to think about that fight in a way where the first fight didn't even happen, right? Just think about the Conor versus Jose Aldo fight, and just forget about the 13-second knockout. Just look at that fight in that way. Just a fresh start. Obviously, there will be like psychological scars and advantages, things of that nature. But in terms of actual fighting ability, Zhang Weili is pretty. I don't want to say she is sharp. He has a lot of straight punches, momentum, good footwork, good things of that nature. However, the rangier fighter is Rose Namajunas. The fighter with the better, slicker movement is Rose Namajunas, and I believe the fighter who was taller, rangier, and slicker will remain on the outside and pop in and pop out. And I believe that Zhang Weili will have a very, very hard time consistently connecting and consistently getting the control of the fight. And therefore, I believe Rose Namajunas will be winning another fight over Zhang Weili. But this time around, it'll probably be a decision victory, just like it was when Rose fought Joanna. Thank you for your question, my man. Pog, my man. You said you were in the Rocky movie, but you know what I mean? You haven't said nothing afterwards, so what am I supposed to take that ass, kid? My man. Oh, there we go. Can we get the chat? Can we get the chat up in here? One more time. UFC 5 comes out in around 11 months. Hopefully they will go back to their roots, because UFC 4 was terrible. UFC 1 was terrible. UFC 2 was an improvement of what was terrible, but it is just a less terrible version of that terrible. UFC 3 was a complete new terrible, completely separate of what the second game was. And UFC 4 was just built upon the third game, which was, in all honesty, a downgrade. So how do you go from, like, if it was like a graphic, it will kind of look like this. You know what I mean? So I have no expectations for UFC 5. I don't, I don't fucking care, like, I don't fucking care about that fucking game, like, you know what I mean? I'm not buying that game again. I'm not, bro. I'm really not, bro. Objectively speaking, the UFC games are, if I were to score UFC 4, I would give it a 3.8 out of 10. Genuinely speaking. Like, honestly, like 3.8, bro. Like, honestly. Oh, but they patched 3.8. Simple, all right? I'll give it a 3.85 because they patched a few things and implemented a new, whatever. The game is still horrible. Horrible. Thoughts on Patty? Look, Patty I don't know what to like when people ask me that question, because I've been asked that a couple times. Like, what do you think about Patty? Patty, look, man, we need fighters like Patty, Sean O'Malley, McGregor, Adesanya, John Jones. We need fighters like that, because just fighting in its own is not enough. Nobody cares about a fight on its own. We need fighters who are marketable. Paddy, he goes in there and he fucking tolslagen voor een schouder, whatever the hell he's saying, bro. Whatever the hell he's saying. As long as he's saying whatever it is that he says, right? So keep talking. He does the talking good. Fighting, he looks dry. Physically, he looks very, very dry. He looks very fit, very sharp, very willing. He comes in there to fight. He's not afraid to take smack. He proved it. You know, that's the thing that people like to see. You can say Paddy got knocked down, he got hurt, sure. But in all honesty, he didn't have to walk into the fire like he did. So because he was willing to do that, I think that speaks volumes of what kind of a fighter he is. He's a fighter that fights for the people, but also for his own highlight reel. So those are the fighters that we all have to really enjoy. So I'm happy with Paddy. Is he a championship fighter? I don't see it. But that's not a bad thing, you know. That's not a bad thing. Not everybody is gonna be a champion, but it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't really matter. He will have a good time in the UFC. He will make, like, if he's smart, he should be fighting within the next month and a half already. And keep on fighting. Keep on fighting. You know, you're unranked. Keep smacking up unranked fighters like Sean O'Malley. And just build up that highlight reel, bro. That highlight reel is important. Very, very important. In other words, they all suck. Of course they all suck, brother, yeah? Big time. Cannot have younger fighters fight an older fighter. Yeah, I mean, unless there's no other way. What about Conor versus Dustin? Ah, my man, you just missed our talk about it. When you asked who fought when you asked who fight Rocky 1, I said Creed from Rocky 2, 3. So didn't think in real life. Ah, okay. UFC 2 was great, but they could have easily made it better. UFC 2 was not, objectively speaking, as an MMA game, it was not great. But out of all the games that they have made, UFC 2 is the best, sure. But out of a bunch of bad games, the least bad is not a good game. That's what I'm trying to say, you know. The best MMA game still remains Undisputed 3. Paddy looks strong, very, very strong. I was actually surprised at how he was able to knock him out. When I looked at him, he felt to me like a jiu-jitsu fighter. I've never seen him fight before, but yeah. What happened to Badr Hari? He was so unlucky, bro. I even recorded my reaction to the fight. I was like, yeah, and then boom. I was like, no, Badr, no. Very unlucky, man. Bro, this is the third fight where he was winning and he just lost at the end. He was winning against Rico. He snapped his ankle again. He was winning against Abdek and then he gets dropped 3 times. And then he gets sparked out cold against a Polish fighter. Like, what, bro? And he was winning as well. Like, that has to mentally break you, honestly, man. Hopefully he can get but yeah, but like even if he were to get an immediate rematch, bro, he got knocked out, so he has a medical suspension to set out. Like, you cannot even go into the immediate rematch that quickly, you know? That just sucks. 3.8. Yes, sir. 3.8. How do you know you're so booty at 3.8? You know what I mean? So, you think Conor can come back and win the title? You know, if Conor can fight, look, if Conor were to fight Charles Oliveira the night that he fought Dustin Poirier for the 3rd time, in my opinion, he could have beaten Charles Oliveira. Could have knocked him out. But now, with an ankle break that he has to recover from and then get better off of, I don't really see it happening. He's getting older as well. You know that hair is you know is thinning, Connor. I see it, brother. You know what I mean? It is what it is, brother. Yeah, but you're losing that hair, buddy. So he's not. He has lost the elasticity in his legs. He has lost the spring. He has lost the excess movement. Now he's very bare bone. The bells and whistles have fallen off of the tree, and now all you have are the trees. You know, so can he come back and win the title? It depends who he fights. But I don't think he. I don't think he would. I don't think he will be in his position where he fights for a title. I'll put it that way. No, he won't be fighting for a title. Do you or have you trained MMA? Not. I've never done MMA specifically. I've done Muay Thai and judo, but now I train in boxing. We don't get knocked out, but yeah, you know yourself, booty. Paddy seems like a worse Justin with great BJJ, but he is getting huge numbers. He honestly might be he might be bigger than Connor if he's good enough. He has up. You know, when it comes to like somebody being bigger than Connor, there are so many natural elements of a celebrity blowing up into it that I don't believe a lot of fighters can replicate. You know, he like Paddy will be big in the MMA world, but I don't think he will be able to break out of it. So I don't think Paddy will ever be. I don't think anybody will be bigger than Connor in MMA. I don't see it, at least not for the next 10 years. But he's a good fighter. British fans will get behind him if he's decent, for sure. He looks like Boris Johnson's son, though. I mean, yeah. At least his hair is combed well. Paddy in one UFC fight has more followers on Instagram than Leon Edwards. Yeah, but wasn't Paddy like a 2-time Cage Warriors champion? And, you know, he can talk the talk, and he's a good fighter, man. He's a good fighter. He's exciting. Leon Edwards, I can't recall the like. Come on, bro. Leon, poor Leon, man. The guy goes in there, fights Diaz, gets just smacked up one time, and people forgot about his fight. That's just crazy, bro. It's honestly crazy. Like it genuinely is crazy. Poor Leon. But he should open his mouth a little bit more, man. I mean, if that's what he wants, he knows what he has to do, but he just wants to fight for the title, and that's it. So nothing wrong with that. Who was the best kickboxer of all time? Badr Hari? No, I don't think so. I think maybe Semi Shield, one of the best. It is sad. I was at the arena, saw Badr fight live. Hey, he dominated the fight, got 2 knockdowns almost 3, and then all of a sudden the Polish guy. It was sad. Everybody was quiet when it happened, bro. Everybody like just turned around and just went home immediately. Like they didn't even wait for the post-fight interview. Like even Badr was out of there quick, you know. So what can you say about it? Not much. It just went the way it went. Yeah, that's just what it is, man. In times like that, you know, you really get to question who you are as a fighter. Like Badr, like ever since 2016, I believe, like he fought Ismail Lazar, I think. No, not Ismail Lazar. He fought somebody in Dagestan. A special event, Ahmed FC specifically made for him. He goes in there, he drops like his opponent. Then his opponent comes back and he drops him as well. Badr is like really fighting through a lot of pain. It's like, damn, bro, like you're not supposed to like struggle with this guy, but you are. Comes back after a year and year and a half, fights Rico, breaks his arm. Another year and a half goes by. I think he went to jail and came back. He fought like Gergis. He looked very, very flat. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just not the same. Guys, who is fighting right now on the Holyfield card, Triller card? If Gastelum could make 170, which he probably could, you're right, Jade. I genuinely think he would dominate the. Okay, I wouldn't say he would dominate the division, but he would do at least better than what he's doing at 185. Usman would not be able to knock him out or weight bully him. Sure, sure. But you also have to realize that Calvin Gastelum, at this point of his career, declining rapidly. He's not as good as he was 3 years ago. That's for sure. That's just the truth. People always want to think about fighters being better, but rarely are they better than what they were. That's rare, like really. Look, I've said it in my video where I talked about Till. When Calvin Gastelum moved up to 185, there were a lot of old fighters, so he just knocked those guys out, and he really looked good, right? But he just knocks out, like, who did he knock out? Vitor Belfort, old TRT Vitor, like it was post TRT. Bisping, he knocked out Tim Kennedy. He dropped Chris Weidman, surprisingly, in a fight where he got completely dominated. Who else did he knock out? Vitor, Bisping, Tim Kennedy. So, these guys were like very, very old, and he looked good because of it. But he actually just looked better than what he was. And then luckily he gets a fight with Adesanya, and he has a good. He made it a hard fight for Adesanya. But I mean, bro, people give him too much credit for that fight. I believe people make him look better than what he did in that fight. I mean, let's not forget. I think he got dropped 3-4 times, almost into submissions, and bro, like you put Adesanya to test, but you clearly were never on the same frequency as him. So I feel like after that fight, he should have went straight back down to 170. And he should have stayed there, but he didn't. So now he's getting older, more deteriorated. His speech is declining. I mean, his speech has been declining for the last 4 years. If you really pay attention to the way his eyes move, it's very stationary and very monotone. His voice and everything is very slurred. It's not a good look, guys. So I worry for the guy. It's not the best move for him to stay at 185. I thought my TV was on 61, but it's not. Oh man, poor Tito is still getting flamed for no reason. Like the Gastelum fought easy, would have beaten Usman in my opinion. He'd be physically more imposing, and could have probably put him in a wrestling clinic on him. Usman is more physical than technical wrestler, for sure. But then we have to realize that this is the same Calvin Gastelum that got completely like washed by Tyron Woodley. And that was like in his like when he was young, you know what I mean? Like better, like not better, but like you know what I mean, like proper. But I see what you mean. He has the ability to slip, pop in and out, be very surprising. He has good grappling defense, very strong. He really could have put up a good test against Kamaru Usman, but Calvin Gastelum boat has long sailed. It's over. Adesanya Whitaker. I feel like Adesanya should move away from the UFC, man. Like he's gonna knock Whitaker out again. He's gonna knock out Brunson out again. He's gonna keep beating everybody in the division until the day he decides to retire. That's just my opinion. Or until some guy who is as tall as him, as rangy as him, as skilled as him in kickboxing comes around and puts a fight on him. Alex Pereira, maybe, but kickboxing and MMA, two different things. I think like guys, can you guys Google how old? I mean, Google. I mean, come on, Keen. Google yourself, buddy. Come on. Alex Pereira. 34 years of age. Israel Adesanya is 32. Not a massive difference. will we see the best Pereira? I don't know. This might be a thing. It's not going to be like Gökhan Saki going into the FC. Not at all, because Gökhan was like way long retired and he lost a lot of muscle, a lot of he was in bad shape going into the FC. He will, Alex will give him a good fight, but I believe Ezo Adesanya in MMA specifically has gotten way better. I think Adesanya will beat him. It's been a long while since I watched the Alex Pereira fight, so I cannot really tell you guys what really happened in that fight. I just remember Adesanya pulling back without his guard up out of a clinch, and then he just gets clipped and drops. Kind of like DC and the way he dropped Stipe Miocic. Woodley is a much better technical wrestling Usman. But in that fight, little wrestling took place. It was mainly striking. It just came down to style. Stylistically, Gastelum and Luke are a bad matchup for Usman. Gastelum will, Gastelum, just by the way he's able to box and use his footwork, is in itself something that Kamaru hasn't faced. Jorge Masvidal, he's quick and he's snappy, sure, but he's not big, he's not strong. Calvin Gastelum is big and strong, right? So he can slip in, he can slip out. Southpaw as well. A lot of different variations in that matchup. Kamaru will have a very hard time just physically, right? Just physically, and on top of that, then comes the skill. So Kamaru Usman, man, that's a fight that I wish would have happened, but we're never gonna see that fight. Darren Till should go back down to 170 as well. Darren Till, he looks fat at 185. He looks like somebody who doesn't cut weight to make the division. And when you are that fighter, you're already fighting an uphill battle. You just it's as hard as it is to say, because there is not a 175 division, 180 division, whatever it may be. You're better off really suffering on the scales, almost passing out, and then making the weight, and then going into the fight, than you are at fighting at a bigger weight. That's just the truth of it. These guys talk about, I feel bigger and better at this weight class. Yeah, no. Duh. Obviously you're going to feel better. But you think your opponent felt better the same way that you felt better the fight week? No, that guy was suffering and dying on the scale and drying himself out. He's this guy's coming from a division up down, essentially, and you're coming from a division down up. It's a different fight, bro. Adesanya, Till should go back down to 100%. But I think about the fights that he can make. Darren Till versus Nick Diaz. Darren Till versus Hamza Chimaev. Darren Till versus Jorge Masvidal rematch. Darren Till versus Colby Covington. Imagine the trash talking on that one. Darren Till versus Burns. Bro, the 170-pound division is his division. Darren Till is not going to crack the top 3 ever. It's not going to happen. He already fought against Whitaker and he lost. You already fought against Kevin Gastelum and you look like crap. You beat him, yeah, sure, but you look like crap, bro. You were the bigger fighter, you were the stronger fighter, and you fought like the guy who was gonna get knocked out, So that's not a good look, bro. And then he gets smashed by Derek Brunson, bro. It breaks my heart to see him like that. It is what it is. You're just getting in the ring. Legs first, of course. Bro, Pog, you're crazy, bro. Where are these guys showing the fight? Triller, right? Triller Fight Club. Triller Fight Club. I feel like that company is gonna go bankrupt in about a year and a half. If they cannot keep Mike Tyson, then they're getting bankrupt. They already spent too much money on Teofimo Lopez for no reason. Come on, bro. They signed Teofimo Lopez like he's a platform seller, an exclusive. People really care. Crazy. I feel like Kevin Holland versus Costa would be a fight of the century. Yeah, Costa is a fight Like, he's a fighter that can make any fight fun. Holland has so much power, possibly biggest power punch ever to be at 180. Kevin Holland? Kevin Holland, he has sniper power. Very accurate. He slings a shot right through your chin. Boom, smacks you up. Pop, like, it just pops you hard, you know, so yeah, definitely. You all remember a good chin. Physically really like, I mean, I want to see Marvin Vettori versus Costa. That's going to be a good fight. A fun fight. But you know what's sad, guys? You know, Costa, Whitaker, Romero, things like these fighters, they're not going to become champions. Tito is KO'd. Like, they're not going to become champions, and so, like, your expectations of these fighters kind of diminish because, and your interest diminishes. But luckily, the UFC is such an entertainment first oriented company before actual competition and rank. They're lucky that they're still competing within the UFC and making the money that they are, because in terms of relevancy, they wouldn't be better off anywhere else, in my opinion. Because who really wants to see, like who would really want to pay to see Marvin Vettori fight? Not me. Chandler Gaethje, that's gonna I'm gonna be making a breakdown for that one. I got Justin via leg kick stoppage. I think Justin Gaethje will probably be winning as well. I don't know in what method, but Justin Gaethje will definitely win that fight 100%. He is just too much. He's just too durable, too strong, too gritty. Able to absorb a lot of punishment. I think he will do that. Chandler will be in and out. I wouldn't be surprised if Chandler can drop him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Chandler will be fighting a very, very uphill battle. If he wants to win this fight, he will have to be fighting very, very smart. Chandler's weak to the calf kicks. Chandler. Who did he get kicked by, Chandler? I can't recall. Like, against Primus, he got leg kicked and then, like, he had leg drop. But aside from that, has he ever had that, like, before? I don't think so. This is a fighter who has to win the title soon. Though he will be on the chopping block for old fighters if he keeps taking so much brain damage. Like Tony. Luckily, Jay, the 155 division is not a young bucks division. Luckily. You know, if it was any other division like 135, you would be very much so doomed. But luckily for anybody that is within that division, everybody is about 32 plus. So they're lucky. It's a like I don't want to say senior. They're not senior. They're not old, but they're not young. They're an adult. They're like an adult division. So Anderson Silva winner by knockout. Well, he actually got knocked out. Let's see it. Tito was KO'd. Where they're fighting like in a theater, bro. Not even sold out. And Triller is going bankrupt. Triller is going bankrupt. There's no other way. What's up? What's up with Anderson's teeth, bro? Does he have a gum shield that looks like Ronaldinho's teeth? Did he really get that? People thought, okay, what do you think about Khabib versus Oliveira? I saw most people saying that Khabib, but then about but then I thought about BJ Penn and Oliveira sounds fun. You know, it would be a fun fight, but I believe, you know, the amount that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu would be effective against Khabib is very minimal. Very minimal, because Khabib doesn't allow a fight to take place in a manner where there are a lot of grappling exchanges. Now I haven't seen the knockout yet. I'm trying to wait for the replay. So I feel like Oliveira physically, he's not very he's not that strong. He did come up from 145, so he's not going to be the biggest fighter at the division. So I feel like he is going to be already at a size, physicality, strength disadvantage. And when Khabib is on top of you, he will control you. So I think Khabib will hold him down and control him. Not necessarily completely destroy him, but just hold him and do his thing. For sure. And BJ Penn would not do anything better. BJ Penn is... respect to the guy, but no, he wouldn't beat him either. Dustin Poirier versus Charles Oliveira. Who do you guys think? Type 1 for Dustin Poirier, type 2 for... Oh my god, Tito got knocked out cold. Holy shit. That's age. No, that's age. The way he got knocked out, that's age. That's just pure old age. And a beautiful punch, obviously. Right across the smack of the chin. He got knocked out cold. And face planted. Somebody has to make a when trash talking goes wrong, Tito Ortiz edition. How about we do it? Let me find a clip of this fight and like some bad trash talk of Tito. And make that compilation. Good job, Anderson. Beautiful knockout. Like, this is what we wanted to see from the get-go, bro. Do you guys remember when Anderson talked about fighting Roy Jones Jr. back in 2015, 16, 13, 14? Like, the guy had aspirations of fighting outside of the UFC for a long while. And this is just what it is. You know, respect to the UFC and all that, but at some point, let older fighters have fun fights. It's a young man's sport at the most competitive level, but it's still an enjoyable sport, art form, entertainment form for older fighters amongst themselves. I mean, who's gonna say that they just did not enjoy to see, who's gonna say that they did not enjoy seeing Tito get knocked out the way he did? Nothing personal to Tito, but just like the visual of that guy getting knocked out. Just the visual of that knockout I'm talking about is pleasing for the fans. Dustin versus Oliveira 2-2. I can't remember. So Dustin Oliveira. Right now, I'm leaning towards Dustin. What do you guys think? I don't know what way he's gonna win. Decision. Oliveira is a pretty hard guy to knock out. He fights patient, controlled, composed. I would say Dustin by decision. What do you guys think? Yeah, 50 Cent, Sean Porter. Oh my god, Triller is just something else, man. Triller is something else. Don't tell me this was a pay-per-view. Was this a pay-per-view? Colby Usman 2. I got his Monaki in my cooking that first time. Me too, Pavan. And the reason why my man Pavan, welcome back. The reason why is I believe that Colby Covington will try to wrestle and it will not work. He will gas out and he will get knocked out. That's just what I think. How are you, my man Pavan? Are you good? I just see you. Damn, bro. That was pretty funny though. I want to see if somebody in my Discord server put that in the Fight Clips chat. Oh yeah, guys, if you want to join my Discord server, the link will be shared right now. Oh yeah, it was. If an expensive pay-per-view at that too, bro. Thriller is on something else, man. These guys are not gonna do well. Guys, be sure to join the Discord server. There's a lot of good, fun things to be had within that server. A lot of good memes and all that stuff. Good times, good times. So yeah, I'm good, bro. How have you been? I've been good as well, brother. I've been focusing on training a lot more. I've been dieting, losing weight, getting fit, strong. I've been boxing again, so I've been doing very well outside of the YouTube world, and I'm happy. So I'm very pleased with it, with everything, and you know the way everything is going. Very much so. Vitor Belfort versus Evander Holyfield. Unbelievable. 50 United States dollars for this. I mean, you know, the only people that bought this are like 50 plus years old, 45 plus. The only demographic that bought it is that demographic, 45 plus. Is that Triller with their stupid rap entertainment in between fights? Who's rapping this time? They got like a C tier celebrity. Is this the guy that? Is this Pero? I've seen like a post on Instagram today where like a fan crashed a car on like onto the wall trying to get an auto, like trying to like catch him giving out autographs. Could have been staged, but you never know. Is this guy? Yeah, that's I don't even know who this is, man. And neither do I give a fuck, so it's all good. Man. All right, I'm not gonna wait until this fight starts. So I appreciate everybody for coming out today. Much love, everybody. You know, you guys are the real ones. You know, these are the random KENAN streams that once upon a time were very notorious. So I felt like I should bring them back sometimes. You know, you never know when it is here, but when it is here, it is here. You know, if you don't know, now you know. All right, brother. Take care, my people. I appreciate you all very much.